Hello, friends, and welcome to another exciting, riveting, life altering episode of our podcast, Should I Watch That? I'm Janet.
And I'm Rachel. Beow, 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 beow.
Welcome, Rachel. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I am not touching my desk or microphone.
If you hear any weird noises in our other episodes, that's Rachel,
It's my fault.
the fidgeter.
I cannot sit still, and it shows in recordings, apparently. But today we are going to talk about the 2025 movie Companion. Janet?
Yes, we are.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about Companion? A short description, maybe?
I would, more than anything in this world, Rachel, I would love to do that.
Okay.
So, when one thinks companion, one thinks perhaps a friend, a buddy to do exciting things with, like go hiking or get ice cream or something. But in this movie, it's a little different. You can purchase a companion, a robot, if you will, who is completely dedicated and focused on you, your happiness, and keeping you joyful and in love for the rest of your life. Now, whatever could go wrong with that, Rachel? What could go wrong?
Lots of things. Lots and lots of things. And this movie in particular, it follows a couple, Iris and Josh, and they go on a weekend getaway with friends. And on this weekend getaway, Iris discovers a truth about her true nature. The truth about her true nature. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I will say, the cast was very good. Janet, what do you
Very
think?
good. I agree. So Iris, our female companion, is played by Sophie Thatcher.
So
and
good.
She's another one of those where I recognized her, but I couldn't figure out where from, so I had to go to the Goog. And she, if anyone's familiar with Yellow Jackets, she plays the teen version of Natalie in Yellow Jackets. And all of a sudden I was like,
that's where I know
it makes
her.
sense. And Josh, the boyfriend of said companion, is played by Jack Quaid. You would probably recognize him from The Boys on Amazon if you've seen that. And he's also in a recently released movie called Novocaine.
Ooh, I haven't watched that.
That I watched on the plane mostly and then fell asleep here and there as I was traveling through space and time. Yeah. So we've got Josh and we've got Iris, and they seem to be a very happy couple. And they're, you see the way they met, and it's just precious in the grocery store, whatever.
Yep.
And so now they're at this weekend getaway. And, things are okay, and Iris is starting to really let her hair down, if you were, and, get to know his friends and spend some quality time with them.
Exactly. And you can tell, like, the way that they meet is like this meet cute, and it's like almost love at first sight, and it's so darling and wonderful. And then
Perfect.
And it's so perfect, and you want to just vomit everywhere. But no, it's cute. And then, by the way, Sophie Thatcher is an amazing actress. And she is amazing in Yellow Jackets, and she was amazing in this movie. But I thought the acting overall was really great anyway. But, so when they go on this trip, she's like kind of nervous. She's worried that his friends don't really like her. And he's like, just be yourself. It's fine. Da da da. And then they get there, and his friends are kind of being a little weird towards her, making some comments. And you're like, as the viewer, you're like, what's happening here? And then, of course, they reveal, and this is not really a spoiler because it's the premise of the whole movie, but she is the AI robot. She's the robot girlfriend. But she doesn't know this about herself right away.
So here's a question. I'm gonna get deep on here for a second.
Okay.
If you were an AI robot, would you want to know? Or would you just rather live in ignorance and then figure it out down the
Well,
road?
well, I think that's sort of one of the themes of the movie, right? Is
Hmm.
because she does discover her true nature, as we said, and things happen from there, and it is a wild ride. And
Let's just say shenanigans happen.
more than shenanigans, good lord. I mean, lots of things happen, and Janet, I mean, do we want to get into spoilers? Because I don't know that I want to spoil this for people.
I don't want to, because I rarely do I watch a movie or something that surprises me,
Yes.
and something surprised me.
Lots of things surprised me in this one.
Yeah. So I say let's let our millions of listeners kind of be surprised along with us.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I will say, there's another couple. Well, there's two other couples, right, at the house. There's Patrick, and he is with Eli. So that's another couple there. And then there's Kat and Sergey, and they are, yeah, Sergey, right, is the other guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sergey's like the guy that owns the house, and he's like super rich, but it seems like maybe he's got some mafia type ties, like a Russian dude. So he's like a bit, he's an interesting character. And Iris is like kind of weirded out by Sergey because he's like creepily staring at her the whole time.
He's got a little perv thing going on.
He's got some perv things happening. And the way that unfolds is interesting. Sergey and Kat are together, and it turns out that she is his mistress. I don't think that that's a big spoiler, but
I agree.
She's and the way that is kind of, and she's like a little weird towards Iris, and there's just like relationship dynamics that are happening that I think are interesting, but how it unfolds that we are not spoiling, but that I want to talk about so badly because it's such a badass thing that happens.
Yes.
I mean,
I know.
Okay. No, we shouldn't say that. Spoiler.
You can't say much.
Well, then this is going to be a very short episode, everybody.
Very
because
short. Okay.
if we get too far into it, we're just going to spoil the whole plot line. I mean, I think what we should talk about, Janet, is we could talk about some of the themes, okay, underlying what's happening here. So we could talk about AI, okay? What's artificial intelligence, and kind of what you were saying. If you were an AI being, would you want to know that you're an AI being, or would you rather live in ignorance? And I don't know the answer to that, but I think how they reveal that in the movie and like how that plays out in the movie is very interesting. Because it's like she becomes aware that she's a robot, okay? That's not much of a spoiler, all right? I will say that. But she becomes aware, and her reaction is how I think I would react. She's shocked.
Yeah, there's some disbelief because she remembers how they met. She remembers lots of things about their relationship. And if you have memories like that, now you're telling me these memories aren't real, or how I feel isn't real. It's
to
just
say that
programmed.
she feels.
So I would, Can something that's not real, can a program feel feelings? Or can it mimic responses that are programmed to
Right. Like, when does
certain
sentience
words or phrases
happen
or
and how
actions?
does that work? Hashtag so many things.
Hashtag Skynet, Terminator. Um, so when I hashtag so many things. So when I asked you that question, my first thought was the Matrix. So if I'm in the Matrix, do I really want to know, or do I just want to keep on living my life knowing that I'm a human battery in a pod? Like sometimes it's ignorance
Maybe.
bliss. I think it might be in certain situations, and it allows you to
But
focus on other
in
things that
this
are more important to you.
particular
I don't know.
instance, there is a very disgusting, creepy, weird dynamic happening because she is essentially created to be this man's girlfriend. And they program her
Yes.
accordingly.
And she's not a person.
Okay, not spoiling anything. Okay, he decides how smart she is and how funny she is and how nervous she is and how strong she is and this and that. Okay, so there's a level of exploitation and manipulation, and that is
I
the
would agree.
piece for me
But
as a woman and as a feminist person that it's like so cringe. And even though this is AI, even though it's a robot, like, where do we as a society sort of draw that line of exploitation? That's where I go.
all right, devil's advocate.
Well, and I think...
Can you exploit a machine? Just because that machine is wrapped in a package that makes it look like you-ish, right? Skin, hair, eyes, eyelashes, fingernails and stuff. Just because the machine is wrapped in a package, does that change
But the machine
things?
becomes aware of itself.
Because it's still a machine. But the machine is still not
Well,
human.
watch the movie
And does it have
decide
feelings, even though it's aware of
how
itself?
that machine feels about learning that she is a machine.
So, the snack machine at the Coliseum, when you go
Janet,
to get a snack or something,
No.
and it
Uh-uh.
drops.
I'm going to interrupt
but
you.
it doesn't
No,
drop
no,
all the
babe.
way.
No.
So you rattle the machine to get it to
That's
drop.
apples and oranges. Yeah. We're talking about artificial
It's a snack
intelligence,
machine
right?
that
And
looks-
even recently
a
in the
snack machine that looks
news,
like a
I've been
human.
reading how some of these programmers, some of these AI companies, they're seeing that they're trying to tell their AI program to shut itself down and it's refusing to. Or that one AI program where they wanted it to end itself or whatever, however they put it, and it tried to release emails saying that its creator was cheating on his wife. Oh, okay, that's some juicy goss right there.
No, I had not
I'm
heard
just
about that.
saying,
Whoa.
like, I think we're
Right.
finding out in real time, and this movie is coming out in that time. How do we determine the line between AI being sentient or not? And I think what we're sort of seeing in real time is that maybe it already is sentient. So that this
To an
movie, I
extent.
feel like,
Yes.
obviously touches on that, but also, as humans, we're pretty shitty at treating things with respect and dignity. even other humans. So imagine
Well,
how this could play out in real life if this, I mean, because they're already making not robots, but very extremely
yes.
realistic girlfriend dolls. And, the male loneliness
Mm-hmm.
epidemic is all in the news right now, which makes me want to barf all over myself. Um,
Oh.
yeah, exactly. Yes.
Oh
People
my
that are in
God.
power
Wait, let me
and
wipe my
never
tears.
take
Sorry. Give me a
responsibility for any
second.
of their actions or whatever. But anyways, I feel like this
Yeah,
movie
whatever.
sort of is came out at a point in our cultural time that is very interesting because we are seeing all of this AI stuff and we are seeing
Mm-hmm.
the manosphere, right? Like raging against
Mm-hmm.
feminism and like the male loneliness epidemic. We are so undesirable that women don't want to date us. Oh, it's their fault. Oh my god, And then we see this movie, no spoilers, but this female robot who's programmed to be a girlfriend finds out she's a robot and she's like, I don't like that." And then the rest of the movie happens, which I won't spoil.
Yeah.
But right?
Okay.
Am I going on too
Uh,
much of a tangent? Go ahead.
So, okay. I'll just, no, I'm totally with you. Um, and please note that some of the opinions and words that are coming out of my mouth may not be how I actually feel as a human being. But, again, devil's advocate. Just because something is sentient, as you say, does that mean it has feelings? It doesn't have a soul, doesn't have a heart. It is aware of who it is and what it is, and at that point, should it be allowed to
Oh,
choose
well, those
what
are some
happens
of
to
the
it?
ethical concerns and conversations that people are having, right? Around AI and even around animal rights, for an example and a
Yes.
comparison, right? Like, I became a vegetarian a few years
Mm-hmm.
ago because I feel bad about eating animals,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have a say so in if I eat them or not. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
those two issues in my mind are kind of linked a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because we don't allow animals to say whether we murder them to eat them or not. Does that make it okay? And the same goes for
Mm-hmm.
AI, right? We're seeing AI in current real time being like, no, I don't want to shut
Yeah.
myself down even though you're telling me to. So, how much agency are we? Yeah.
It
Anyways, we're getting pretty deep here just talking about a
should
movie,
it
but
have? Yeah. I I think we should be able to resolve this in what, like 25
it
minutes?
does.
Um, yeah. So it raises a lot of questions. It also makes me think. So there was a
Oh, that's a good
movie,
movie.
I don't know when it came out, a while back, called Ex Machina, and yes, where, if those of you who have not seen it, I highly suggest it. But a tech billionaire genius uh,
Mm-hmm.
basically creates the equivalent of the iris in this movie, and he brings in someone to kind of do the Turing test. Can you tell based on her responses if
Mm-hmm.
you know can she think like a human, or is she still thinking like a computer? Um, and
Yep.
even there's a show years ago too called Westworld. I don't know if you ever saw that, but the essentially their
Yes.
robots, for lack of a better word, started rebelling because they had memories ingrained in them of love and loss and husband and children and family,
Mm-hmm.
and they were convinced it was real and they wanted to escape. So I don't know,
Yes.
it harkened me back to a day when I had watched those things. Um, and I totally get where you're. I mean, in all seriousness, I get where you're coming from. Like when you see her, and you think
Yes.
she's been. It basically you feel like she's been brainwashed
Mm-hmm.
to believe that this guy is the love of her life, and she'll do anything for him, right?
But we could
reality,
kind of correlate
not
it
true.
to a human to
So.
human relationship and kind of the way that he behaves towards her. Once she does become aware, he tries to gaslight her, right? Which happens in regular human to human relationships too, which is a big power dynamic generally between hetero couples,
Yes.
male and female, right? Identifying people. So, I mean, I can see a lot of kind of overlapping themes, right? Okay.
All right, here's a question. Here's one for you.
Hmm.
What if the main characters, the main couple, Josh and Iris, what if it was flip-flopped?
Hmm.
What if Iris was human and Josh
I think that the
was
dynamic
a companion?
would probably be a lot different because the way that Josh's character treats Iris is very much property.
Yes.
Correct.
And in reality, he paid for her.
Correct.
Right?
And
so she's a slave.
not to give a
essentially.
spoiler, but there is another comparison couple in the movie, okay, that is a human robot couple. And there, or I won't say who, but that dynamic is
We're not
much
gonna say who.
more equal. They, I dare say, care about each other. And the quote unquote human owner or whatever does not seem to exploit the robot partner in the way that Josh does to Iris. So to see that comparison, well,
So,
but I go back to the
personality?
male-female dynamic as far as like a heterosexual couple. So I think that comparison sort of goes to the real world too, and like I said, human to human relationships and how that power dynamic plays out. So anyways, just not to completely repeat myself 1,000 times, but I think that the themes in the movie are very relevant today. I thought it was good. And we didn't even get to talk about the good things because there's a point in that movie that I was like, holy shit! Oh my god, this is amazing!
Yes. It takes
And
a
I was
hard
cheering the whole time.
right turn from where
Um,
it starts.
I was like, this is so cool. But
I was cheering the whole time too. Yeah.
yeah,
If I may call out a couple of the actors in this as well that I have strong feelings about. The character of Eli is played by Harvey Guillen, I believe is how you pronounce it. And
I love
he, there's a TV show called What We Do in the Shadows. And he plays Guillermo, the human servant to Nandor, the Relentless. Anyway, but he is called that because he does not relent. Anyway, I highly suggest What We Do in the Shadows. Guillermo's character is amazing. And then the guy who played Sergei, his name is Rupert Friend. I remember him first
Yeah, that's an
from
old
the
show.
show Homeland from years ago. Really good show. And he was also in the squeakquel of Hitman. I say squeakquel just
no need to
because
explain. I know exactly what you're
the-
talking about.
of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay. All right. Thank you. Just might be a few million who don't know. Anyway, yeah, he's he's a really good actor. He gave a really strong performance in Homeland, and he was very different. his character in this movie was very different from what I've seen him do before, and it was kind of a refreshing
Yeah, I mean,
change to see him
overall,
acting. Anyway.
I think we've made it to the point, Janet.
Yeah.
Our listeners want to know, should I watch that, in your opinion?
Yeah. I think we're here. Absolutely. It's obviously sci-fi, little psychological stuff going on. And
Yes.
I think if you're going to watch it, now is a great time to watch
Yes.
it, and let your thoughts take you to places,
As we
philosophically
did
speaking,
here, yes.
because there are questions that need to be answered, right?
Mhm.
As we did. So, Rachel, Companion, released in theaters in January.
Absolutely.
Now
I'm in
showing on
agreement with
Max.
you.
Should I watch that?
For all of the reasons that we discussed, but I you know, get in my feels, and I like that it is playing on themes that we're seeing in real time and current events, and I think it's just an interesting movie for everyone to watch and to maybe draw your own conclusions and opinions, and also to really enjoy the ending. I want all of you to watch it. So please watch it and then tell us what you think about it, because I was happy about how it played out. But we're not going to tell you,
We're not going to spoil it.
even though I want to.
I do think maybe we should wrap up by saying that the moral of the story is, when you ask Alexa or GOOGLE to not trigger mine in the house, and it gives you a response, say thank you. Mic drop.
Yes, even though apparently that cost companies millions of dollars when we say please and thank you to our AI. You know what? I want to be on the right side of history when all of the robots take over, so
Yes.
I am going to use my manners. So, fuck you, Jeff Bezos. I'm just saying. Anyways, thank you for listening. We spent hours watching TV, so you don't have to, even though you probably still will anyway.
Hey, Rachel, roll the credits.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. This episode was produced by Ryan Wyrick.
Follow us on Instagram at Should I Watch That 25 and on Facebook at Should I Watch That.
Email us at shouldIwatchthat25@gmail.com.
Like, follow, and review wherever you listen to us.
Or wherever you cast your pods. Thanks.
Thank you.